Hey, welcome to Misty's Mat at Yoga House podcast. And I wanted to do this segment on just kind of what is yoga nidra because I'll be doing a lot of it. I think it is really kind of life changing for me on how I looked at things and how I did things, and is a really wonderful meditation kind of sleep. So I wanted to just take a quick podcast and let you know kind of what it is. So, a yoga nidra is a yogic sleep, and it's a place to practice yoga, but you don't do anything physically. All you have to do is lay down, find a comfortable spot, and it works with different brain waves. Kind of imagine like when you first fall asleep, if you hear something, a news story or a particular song, which by the way, you might hear a song here in the background. Somebody's playing something. But you can recall it the next day, or you remember it. And so that's kind of how Yoga Nidra started. It works on those different brain waves. And we cycle through each one of them when we wake, when we sleep, and it usually correlates with a specific experience. So you'll notice that when we do this Yoga Nidra, we always take you through a specific sequence. There'll always be something the same about it. It'll always kind of do a same flow, meaning we'll always find a comfortable place to lay down. We'll ask you to get completely still. If there's distractions, there's distractions. I mean, that's all part of what happens in real life. But the brain waves that we kind of connect with are going to be on that subconscious level, and there is where we can do most of our healing, when we do most of our remembering. So we try to touch base with those, and I know it kind of sounds hokey pokey at first, but I promise if you just keep doing it, keep practicing it, you'll start to feel and see changes. We always start with laying down, getting comfortable, and then the next thing is asking for you to find a sankalpa. And a sankalpa basically is what's on your heart. What do you see yourself in this current moment? Or what do you want to see yourself as, and you see it in the present tense? The sankalpa, this heart's desire, it will have you repeat it 3 times to yourself. And if you're into brain waves, it's going to connect with an alpha wave. But this is when the mind is most receptive to new information. And a huge thing about Yoga Nidra is you are trying to stay awake, but the brain kind of shifts to a quieter state, and the body goes into a sleep cycle. That's why we lay down, we keep the body still, but we'll still have our brain on. We'll still be trying to consciously listen to whatever the person is saying, whether you connect with it or not. So it's the conscious and the subconscious mind. But the sankalpa is a positive statement. It's about what you are right now. Even if you necessarily don't see that, what do you want? Usually it starts as an I am statement. I mean, it might be I'm healthy in mind and body, I am free, I am confident, I am valued, I'm true to myself, I am at peace, I am kind, I am not distracted, I am radiant. Whatever it is, it can be encoded into the mind and body. And that's what happens in sankalpa. That's the most transformative thing that happens in this Yoga Nidra. Your sankalpa is like this little seed, and we're going to plant it. And then your sankalpa can stay the same. I've had the same sankalpa for years. Every time I do a Yoga Nidra, my sankalpa is the same. And it's because I have this like desire, it really will be reached. It's a stated present tense. It's I am. You feel the truth in it. And you do it until that when you're in the waking state, when you're just walking around, when in your daily life, your sankalpa is real. It is who you are. It is what you are. The other thing that we do is go through the body. And it's really kind of a awareness versus visualization, so to speak. I want to keep you engaged. So when we take you into this laying down, you're comfortable. Then you're not going to move because we're going to be using the body. You're just going to be still. You're consciously know you're laying there. And then we're going to, or whoever's leading the nidra, will have you go through kind of this journey through the body. They will ask you to see certain things. Like say like that you see a healing light, or you see a lotus flower, or you might see a rose petal, or maybe just feel something, and it'll be through different parts of the body. And that keeps the mind occupied. And it says, how do I feel this part of my body without moving? There's no judgments. There's no movements. It's just feeling, a burning sensation in your right hand, feeling an energy in your left hand, so that you will follow each part of that. You'll probably ask to repeat your sankalpa to yourself. We go through a visualization where then I, or whoever's leading, would ask you to just focus on the space between the eyes, and then we'll give you some pictures, some things that may not have any meaning whatsoever. But again, it keeps the mind occupied so that you can relax. Sometimes it messes with brain waves, so you disassociate. We bring up then feelings in the body, not just hurt and sad, but how hot and cold, heavy, light, how those things feel in your body, maybe in a certain place, in the body. And that you start to realize you can feel all of those things in your current state in your body. I'll have you count down, because again, that gives the brain something else to keep itself occupied, so then your sankalpa can get into those spaces, those heart's desire, and make it this true moment, this true self. And sometimes you might have another guided meditation while you're in this nidra, this space. And then you'll be gently taken out of the space, and you should feel rested. You should feel amazing. Or you may not feel anything. But I want you to at least give it a try, this yoga nidra. I have several on here, and I'll be adding some. And know that they all have a place in your life. Yoga's not just about asana. It's actually very little about asana, those poses, those postures. There's so many more layers to things. So I ask you to embrace yoga nidra. Embrace it all. And if you have any questions, please just drop me an email. Send me a message. What do you want to hear? What do you want to see? What do you want to know more about? If you're on Patreon, while I was doing this little recording, I am out at the lake, so I wanted you to have maybe a little meditation while you were sitting out, listening to what is yoga nidra. So maybe you take a moment here. Just close the eyes. And maybe you hear the wind blowing, the water running, the ducks passing by. And in this moment, whatever you're feeling, whatever in your heart, Maybe it's happy, maybe it's sad, maybe it's broken, maybe it's putting it together. Just let it be. The waves on the water today with the wind blowing are getting things stirred up. Things don't just float on by. Sometimes we're meant to be still with them. Maybe you use the wind to blow it all to a corner, get it all just right. See it, and then take a big breath in. Exhale, maybe blow it out of the way. Another big breath in, light and energy and good. And exhale, peace, happiness, and to be, truly be, in every moment of today. Thank you so much for listening. I'll meet you on the mat. Namaste.